aliens are just perfect for that. So let's get to it. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Alright, this is the first fact about aliens. First ASMR fact about aliens. Make sure you vibe out, chill, relax, sit back, and rock what you got. So, it seems like we got a signal from an mysterious external place other than our Earth. According to the article, the title of this fact is E.T. phoning us from Proxima Centauri? Alright, I guess Proxima Centauri is the suspected place that this signal came from, right? The answer to weird signals happening in the universe is never aliens, until maybe it is. Earlier this month, researchers announced that they had captured a very mysterious beam of energy in the radio part of the electromagnetic spectrum. This is when it gets real geeky, real nerdy. At 980 megahertz. For all my nerds out there, let me know what that means. And I'm not hating on you guys. I love nerds because I'm a nerd in specific things. But that's a whole nother video. Going back to this. This place is the closest star to our own, which is the sun. Proxima Centauri, which is about just 4.2 light years away, hosts one gas giant and one rocky world 17% larger than Earth. That happens to be in the star's habitable zone, meaning liquid water could exist there. And you know, if there's water that exists, there's presence of water, then you know that there's a high possibility that there is presence of life. And in other words, presence of aliens. That is pretty cool. Can you imagine that there's other planets, other civilizations, other beings out there that are trying to talk to us? And maybe we don't even have the technology to be able to receive it and understand it and even send it back. It's kind of humbling when you think about it. Another fact about aliens is that there may be alien bacteria in the clouds of Venus. Fun fact, Venus was the first class project, the first research I've ever done on a planet. In school, it was on Venus. So Venus has a place in my heart, always. It's a pretty cool planet. If you don't know about it, check it out. But anyway, the article says astrobiologists were at Twitter with anticipation and skepticism in September when news broke of potential evidence of life in the upper clouds of Venus. Wow. The announcement pointed to the presence of phosphine, a rare and often poisonous gas that, on Earth, is almost always associated with living organisms. Wow. Things are getting a little interesting now. With this hellish surface temperature, because Venus is super hot, outlandish pressure, and sulfuric acid clouds, Venus has long played second fiddle to the seemingly more potentially habitable Mars. Because you know we have a thing about Mars that it's likely the Earth's cousin almost. It is the most relatable planet to Earth and possibly can hold life in the future. I feel like when people get rich enough on Earth, they're gonna just leave Earth and go to Mars. Because it is the next most habitable planet in our solar system. And it's similar in size too. Yes, Mr. Night Vibe loves his astronomy. as if there was something propelling it, as scientists still aren't sure why. Now let me explain. Looking at this picture, it looks like a slab of rock, right? It looks like it has a rocky surface. It doesn't look like, a ship or anything. But it does have the shape of a ship, in the fact that they're saying that it's accelerating on its own, like as if it has propellers on the back of it, but there's no propellers visible. That's really interesting and kind of creepy, but I find it very interesting. We need to figure that one out, and it's still hurtling through space as we speak right now. That's some interesting stuff. Let's go to another fact. Alright, the title of this fact is "The Navy Declassifies UFO Videos, but Don't Believe the Hype." A fair number of Earthlings don't care what ambiguous evidence scientists come up with to show that aliens are out there. They're convinced that we've been visited by technological beings many times, pointing to stories about UFOs and alien encounters, pretty much all of which have been debunked. True believers received a boost in April when the U.S. Navy released footage captured by pilots that showed odd wingless aircraft traveling at hypersonic speed, looking for all intents and purposes like bizarre alien machinery. Despite the existence of such videos, people should still be wary. Now that sounds like a warning from the U.S. Navy. That doesn't sound too much of a relief for us Earthlings, but yeah, this one is pretty blatant if you ask me. There's actually video of these pilots chasing a unidentified flying object through the sky, and they sound terrified. They sound like they've never seen such a thing. And you gotta think about it, at this time, the aircraft that they were flying at that time were the fastest on Earth. This was the best that man could do. So then you have this thing, this unidentified flying object, this UFO, that blazes past them at hypersonic speeds. They probably did what in their pants. There's no doubt about it. This is unexplainable. I'll tell you what my opinion on things was. I feel like the government was playing around with technology, and not telling the public about it, and probably not even telling the soldiers about it. Only a certain group of officials and, even soldiers knew about this stuff. But I feel like the average soldier didn't. I feel like the government is always ahead of what we see in technology. I heard a rumor that the government is always a decade ahead of commercial and consumer technology. So when we first got our first cell phone, the government already had it for a decade before that. So that's the rumor I heard. Now my sources, some could be reliable and others maybe not, but if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Like, why would the government give us brand new technology that they just got themselves? You know what I'm saying? But just saying. Here's another fact. The Milky Way could be teeming with ocean worlds. Ocean worlds, which are classified as those having significant planets out there that aren't relatively too far from us that have oceans, moving bodies of water underneath their surfaces. So think about it. They might have a world of living creatures that are water-based creatures, like on some Pokemon stuff. They got a whole bunch of Squirtles on Jupiter's moon right now. That's wow, man. The possibilities. Wow. And just to think, those things probably never breach the surface. They're just underwater living their lives, not even knowing about the world outside of that water, outside of that icy shell of their planets, their moons. Man, that is amazing. But they said they might send something out there in 2030s. That's not too far from now, man. That's only 9 years, a decade from now. So look out for this in a decade or so. We might be discovering some surprises in other places. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. There could be life that lives around a black hole, the most powerful force in the universe. The article says, when hunting life on other worlds, most scientists stick to what they know, searching for Earth-sized worlds orbiting sun-like stars. But far more exotic configurations could exist, such as a planet circling around and heated by a black hole. At first glance, such a scenario seems absurd, but contrary to popular depictions, black holes don't just suck in everything around them. Gravitationally stable orbits are possible, and the light from the cosmic background radiation, a relic with temperatures at near absolute zero from the early universe that permeates of all space, will get heated as it fell into the black hole. That's pretty crazy, because as we all know, the black hole is the most destructive, powerful thing that ever existed. And the thing about this thing is that we know nothing about it, really. We just know it's a huge hole that sucks things, but according to this article, that is not its only job. And it is possible that there are life circling around this hole because of the heat it creates, the energy it creates. Can you imagine what those beings look like? They can't look like us. There's no way. Because they will have to adapt to that energy, that force, that pressure. Imagine how big they are, or how small they are, or how configured they are. It's the possibilities. That is the theme tonight. Possibilities. And you just never know. And my last fact for tonight is that most aliens are probably dead. This is like on the flip side of the coin, right? So this article says, where there's life, there's also death, which is true. While we like to imagine that our galaxy is teeming with I keep messing up on this word, technological beings capable of contacting us, the flip side is recognizing excuse me, analysis found that the highest probability of life emerging in the Milky Way likely happened around 5.5 billion years ago, before our planet even existed, suggesting that humanity is a relative latecomer to the galaxy and plenty of our potential otherworldly partners are no longer around to talk to us. So basically what this fact is suggesting is that we are the latecomers in the civilization, in the being society, that maybe the universe was teeming with life before we got here, before we even became of existence. And there's a possibility that we are alone in the solar system, and a possibility that we are maybe alone in this section of the universe. That's what this fact is saying. But I think that would be very boring, right? Imagine us being the only beings, and that would be whack. I think it needs to get lit on this planet. I think all these movies that they used to make, like Independence Day, I think that needs to happen at some point, because I feel like humans are getting bored of ourselves. We're doing stupid things to ourselves, killing each other, hating each other, and hurting each other. I feel like we're tired of each other. I feel like there needs to be another force, another factor in our lives that will make us appreciate us a little more, right? Also, that might make better ideas for video games and movies too. But hey guys, thank you for rocking out with me tonight, listening to some facts about aliens, night vibing with Mr. Night Vibes. I want y'all to continue to have a good night, vibe out, chill out, and relax, and get some sleep too. I'll check y'all out at the next video. Sending off, Mr. Night Vibes. Have a vibey night.